Well, hello there. Welcome back to the Star Wars headquarters. Hope you're all doing well, and today we are talking about Capital Supremacy. I'll be giving my honest review and opinion on this new game mode that just arrived to Battlefront 2 a couple days ago, and I'll be talking about the ground combat, the vehicles, the heroes, the reinforcements, the boarding of the capital ships, and so much more. And I'll be pointing out what I love about this game mode and also pointing out what I think needs improved with the game mode as well. And feel free to jump in on the conversation by posting a comment in the comment section. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about the game mode, especially after experiencing it for a couple days. So I'm going to start with the ground combat because this is where the game mode begins, and I absolutely love this part of Capital Supremacy because, of course, it is an open-ended, non-linear experience where you can go and capture command posts in any direction that you'd like. And this is what really defines this game mode for me because, you know, we've been asking for this. It's very similar to the original Battlefront 2. And as you all know, we are massive fans of the original Battlefront games. In fact, the original Battlefront games are what got me into Star Wars in the first place. So to see this new Capital Supremacy mode hark back to the originals is extremely exciting, and it really brought me back to my childhood. You know, I got that feeling inside that I was a kid again, and for them to capture that feeling says a lot about this mode. So again, thank you to DICE for pulling this off. I know it was tons of work. I know tons of sweat, blood, and tears went into this mode, I can tell. So again, thank you to DICE and the team for, you know, implementing these features into this new mode. And the addition of vehicles, reinforcements, and heroes is just icing on the cake for this mode, and just adds that, you know, chaotic atmosphere to the whole battle. It makes it truly feel like you're in the Clone Wars, and I just absolutely love it. And you know, if they add a bunch of new maps to this mode, you know, like Camino, you know, Kashyyyk, you know, Theed, and maybe even new maps like Coruscant and Mustafar, I think this game is looking to surpass the original Battlefront 2, which again is saying a lot about this new mode. It has really added this whole new element to Battlefront 2. And, you know, when my twin bro and I played it for the first time, we looked at each other and we were like, Battlefront 2 is officially back. That's how we felt when we played this new game mode. Now, with that said, you know, if you look at the original game mode, you know, there was one big difference. You could spawn on the command posts, and with this new mode, Capital Supremacy, the spawn points are automatically selected for you. So far, it works very well. I haven't had any major issues with it, but I still think it would be cool to have the ability to select a command post and spawn on it because it would add a lot more strategy to the mode. Plus, we could get a really cool map overview and see what everyone's doing on the map, see where your squad is located, and then, you know, strategically choose where you want to spawn. So what do you think about this? Do you think the mode needs the ability to spawn on the flags or not? Is it a big deal to you? Let me know about this in the comments. And now I'm going to talk about one of the most important things that I think needs improvement in Capital Supremacy, and that's the fact that the game mode can go on forever and ever. It can go over 60 minutes. I've talked to some people who have played for 2 hours straight, and it can be just like this endless cycle. And I think for most people that can lead to frustration because, you know, a lot of people, they're busy with either college or work or, you know, their family or their daily activities in life, and they just simply don't have the time to sit there for like 2 hours in one match. And I've had many matches that have lasted over 60 minutes, and for me personally, that is way too long, and that's going to be an issue, especially if or when they introduce multiple maps into this mode, because you don't want to sit there for 60 minutes because you'll never get to experience the other maps in this mode. So I think they really need to get the mode down to a maximum of 30 minutes. I think that's the sweet spot they should aim for, and they should really prepare it for any upcoming maps if they have that planned, because again, you know, if you're sitting there for like 60 to 90 minutes, you know, most people won't have the time to play the next map for another 60 to 90 minutes. You know, there's no way. So I think this is very important that DICE really takes a look at this and really gets it fixed. And I think one way that they could address this issue is by, only allowing the attacking team to attack the capital ship twice. So, for instance, if you're boarding the capital ship and you're on your second attempt, if you fail that second attempt, the game should end right there and your team should lose. So let me know if you think this is a good option for this mode, because again, I just think they need to work on something to prevent it from going on for a full 60 to 90 minutes. I think that's way too long. Now, in terms of the actual map design and size of the map, so far the size of the map works perfect. You don't find yourself like running in wide open spaces too long, so the map is not too big, and also I feel like the map is not too small. So I think in regards to the actual ground combat map on Geonosis, I think DICE nailed the size perfectly for the amount of players on the map. Plus, there's some really cool areas. I like the toxic waste area. I really enjoy, I believe it's Command Post E, which is basically the center of the map, where you have to go up on that hill, and it's basically the pivotal point and deciding factor for the map, it seems. So I really love the different command post points of the map. Now, with the actual flow and layout of the map, you can tell the map has been designed with larger vehicles in mind, because when I play with one of my all-time favorite vehicles, the AAT, I can get around very easily because of the open and wide lanes that allow me to do so. So again, the map design is done very well, so hats off to the team at DICE for doing such an awesome job with the map on this new mode. And then also, I have to mention the AI bots definitely do add a new element to the entire experience. I was very surprised to see how the AI acted and how accurate they were. They work very well on the map, and again, add that sense of scale to the whole Clone Wars battle. So really good job on that. And then hopefully that leads to them adding the Capital Supremacy mode, or at least a portion of the Capital Supremacy mode, to arcade mode for offline content, because there's a lot of people, including myself, that want to see a larger mode in the offline content space of Battlefront 2, not only because of the fact that if your internet's not working, you can still play Battlefront 2 if you have offline content, but also the fact that you'll be able to play Battlefront 2 10 years down the road, when most likely it's almost impossible to find an online game. So again, I think it's super important that offline content is supported in Battlefront 2, especially for the larger game modes. And before we jump to the boarding of capital ships, I wanted to mention this real quick. There's a big debate going on about the heroes in this new mode. So the question is, should there be 2 heroes per side or 4 heroes per side? What do you think about this? Make sure you weigh in on this and let me know in the comments, because DICE, they've been out on Twitter and Reddit asking everyone this question. And my opinion is this: I think there should be only 2 heroes per side. I think 4 heroes is just too much. I think it's too chaotic. It makes it a total of 8 heroes on the battlefront at once. And I just think it's too much happening at once and unfair for regular troopers and reinforcements. So in my opinion, I think 2 versus 2 heroes is a better option for Capital Supremacy. It just makes it more balanced, more fun for everyone. And even though, you might not get to play with the hero as often as you like, you still do have that option to go over to heroes versus villains as well. And remember, DICE is also looking to work on heroes versus villains with blast mechanics too. Plus, they could also do a Heroes Unleashed event for the new Capital Supremacy mode for those that want a lot more heroes to choose from during the rounds of Capital Supremacy. So, again, feel free to weigh in on this. Again, DICE is polling people about this, and it's looking like they're going to make a decision pretty soon on if it's going to be 2 per side or 4 heroes per side. And now let's talk about the boarding of the capital ships, which of course is one of my favorite parts of this mode. And if you think about it, there's not a lot of games doing this. I don't think there's any games doing this in the multiplayer space. So it's a huge, huge new feature in the gaming industry, and something that DICE definitely should be proud of, because this is what makes this mode totally unique, even compared to the original Battlefront 2 game that was released back in 2005. So, you know, when I first boarded my first capital ship, I could not believe how cool the experience was. It was unreal, and, you know, the sense of scale of the ship interior was also amazing, and the amount of detail they were able to pull off while maintaining the sense of scale is also incredible as well, and says a lot about the team over at DICE. And again, the whole experience is just unreal. It's so cool to be able to actually board these ships that you see hovering over the skies of Geonosis and actually enter them and assault them. Now, I will say this, there is one thing that I do want to see improved with the boarding of ships, and it's the beginning part. So when you go in there, you know, I feel like there's way too many choke points that you have to deal with, and it just results in the attacking team kind of struggling to get through and breaking through to the next objectives. Now, it is good that you only have to disable one of the objectives to advance onto the next objective, so I do think that's good, but I feel like they could have opened it up a little bit more at the beginning and provided a little bit more space for the attacking team to move around from. So I don't know how you feel about that, but let me know. But the second sub-phase of the capital ship bombardment, if you will, is really well done, and I feel like it works very well. So again, let me know. What do you think about it? I know that some people, they have complained that they don't like the cinematics, you know, and they want to see the process of boarding the ships in real time. I didn't mind it too much. I felt like the cinematics are a really cool addition, but it would be cool to have the ability to board the ships in real time. How they would do this, I'm not sure, but you have to consider the fact that if you give, you know, players the ability to board the ship and actually fly a transport up in there, you're trusting another player with your life, if you will, and I have a feeling there might be a lot of frustration with that if players decide to goof off and kill the whole enemy team in the transport ship that's actually going up into the capital ship. So, again, let me know what you think about this in the comments. I think DICE had a really nice workaround for that. And also, I think there are some technical limitations because technically, I think they are loading or streaming an entirely new level when you go up into that capital ship. So I think there's also currently a technical limit on that. So maybe in the future, we'll be able to fly up there in real time, which would also be really cool. So there it is. There's my feedback on Capital Supremacy. Of course, as you can tell, it's mostly overall positive feedback, and I think Capital Supremacy should be the foundation for Star Wars Battlefront 2 moving forward. It is an amazing new mode, and I will say it, I think if they add a lot of new maps to Capital Supremacy, it could easily surpass the original Battlefront games for sure, because it's looking like that. We have tons of heroes, we have awesome new reinforcements, you know, we have the vehicles. They still need to add more vehicles, in my opinion, like the, you know, Republic tanks. They could add the Hellfire droids, Spider droids, but, you know, it's looking like this game is shaping up to be one of the best Battlefront games ever made if they continue to support Capital Supremacy, add new reinforcements, add new vehicles, add new heroes, and so on. I think things are looking up for Battlefront 2. But thanks for listening to me. Hope you enjoyed the video. We'll be back for more Star Wars Battlefront 2 and Jedi Fallen Order news as we near Star Wars Celebration and go into April. And I'll see you guys next time, and may the Force be with you always. Wow.